to help former prisoners get a second chance at life. We passed groundbreaking, and this is with liberals and conservatives. Some of the most conservative people in the Republican Party were so in favor of it. Senator Lee, Mike Lee of Utah, great guy. Senator Grassley, great guy, Iowa. So many people. Criminal justice reform. Everybody said it couldn't be done. And a group came to my office. Sir, please, would you help us? These were liberal people. And I said, I will. Van Jones was one, nice guy. I wouldn't say he treats me too good, but that's okay. Van Jones. And he said, sir, we need your help. We can't get 5 senators. We can't get this. We can't get that. We need your help. We need your help. Please, sir, help me. Please help me. I said, I can get you those 5 senators. And I called 5 or 6 or 7 to get the 5. Sometimes you have to call a little more than the 5 if you want to get the 5, right? You'll learn. A couple said, could I take a pass on this, sir? But I got 5 people, right, Jared? And we got the vote, and people were shocked. And nobody else could have done it. And they've been trying to change this for the African-American community, for the Hispanic community, for other communities, but really the African-American, Hispanic communities by far benefited the most. And they've been trying to do this for decades. It started with the Clintons. It was not good, right? Remember when she ran and she... No, remember when she ran and she had that young African-American woman who was tough. Maybe it was Candace. Could that have been you, Candace? But no, I don't think so. But I remember how she was so angry at Hillary Clinton. But they passed that. And it was horrible for the black community, for a lot of communities. And I said, Senator, it's a great thing. We got to do it. People are in jail for 40, 50, 60 years for a crime that isn't even a crime today. Right? Isn't that right? We had a woman, Alice Johnson, who was this lovely woman, and she was in for about 22 years already. I mean, she served 22 years. And I think she had another 25 or 26 to go for making a phone call. And look, she admits she did wrong. But today, it would be slightly different, like maybe not enough, to be honest with you. But it would be very different. So she was in, and she was a wonderful woman. And Kanye West came, and Kim came, and they said, President, could you do this? I said, do what? Do what? What are you talking? A woman's been in jail for 22 years. She's got another 28 to serve, I think, something like that. Think of that. And she's got another 28 to serve, and she's a great woman, and she's a wonderful woman. And I get along with Kanye for a long time. You saw the way when he was with the White House, he puts the hat on. I think for one day I went up through the polls like through the roof, I'll tell you. He is with the African-American community, they like Kanye, and they like Kim Kardashian. And we pardoned her. And we worked it so that she was going to be able to get out, a form of a pardon where she could get out. And she came out, and I'll never forget the scene. She comes out of this big prison, mean prison. Not too many of them are nice, right? But she comes out through the doors, and there are her children, but her children are now very grown. Big, strong guys, beautiful women, beautiful, just a big family. And they just embraced. They just embraced. And it was on television all over. It loved. It was just incredible to see. And the tears, and they were just like one. It was incredible to watch. And I said, we have to do it with others. And you called Alice. I know that, Jaron and Jared. I will say, Alice, who knows better? Because you can't let everybody up, because frankly, some are going to be there, and they deserve to be there. But we say, Alice, who else do you think in that prison, you grew up, you were there for so long, 22 years, who else do you know that should be let out? And she gave us some names. And not even that many names, but she gave us 4 or 5 names. And I guarantee you those are great people. They've been in there also for many, many years, and they got to be friendly. And she's smart. After all those years, she knows the good, and I have no doubt that it'll work out. And we're getting them out now. We're in the process of getting them out to be with their families. So it's great. It's great. It's been a great thing. But I did want to say, so Van Jones was on about 2 weeks ago. And he came to me, and I'm telling you, he was so nice. He was sitting right there when I was doing it. And I said, thank you, Van Jones. Thank you, this one, that one. And that was it. And he came up to me, thanked me, and that was it. Then about 3 weeks ago, I saw him on television. I don't watch your show too much. Neither do too many. But I'm watching him. And he gets up and he goes, I want to thank a number of people because we did something this year that was undoable. They said it couldn't be done. We passed criminal justice reform. Okay? Van Jones said it. And I want to thank Reverend Al Sharpton. Well, he was nowhere to be found. Just so we know, I've known him for a long time. He used to love me. We used to go to fights together with Don King. Don King's a friend of mine. Don King endorsed me. And Don King and Al Sharpton get along. We used to go to fights together. And he liked me until I ran and succeeded in politics. Then it wasn't to his benefit. But look, Al's a con man. We all know that, okay? Just a con man. He's a con man. And he scared NBC into giving him a show, you know. They don't want to have any trouble. But he's just a sort of a third-rate con guy. But here's Van Jones. Here's Van Jones. Van Jones, I want to thank Al Sharpton. I want to thank all of these. He's named people I never heard of. The only one he didn't mention was me. And then it got worse. You ready? Candace, listen to this. Terrence, are you listening? So he named these people, a lot of people, standing at the end of a show. I want to thank, because this was the greatest year we've ever had. We got criminal justice reform. I want to thank this one and that one and that one and that. I never heard of it. And I kept waiting for my name. I said, darling, come over here. I'm going to have a great little name mention. Yes, darling, the First Lady. How good is the First Lady? So she came over. And I kept waiting. And I kept waiting. And then he named a lot of people. That was the end. I said, I was a little embarrassed in front of my wife. I said, he didn't name me. I'm the one that did it. I called up Jared, right, Jared? I said, what the hell is this? But before that, he did have one other thing to say. This was 3 weeks ago. He said, and I have one thing to say that we have to do. We must defeat this president. We have to defeat President Trump. And we have to work 24 hours a day to defeat President Donald Trump. And I called Jared and I said, that's terrible. Right? Is that a true story? And then he spoke to Jared and he apologized, didn't he? He apologized. But I don't accept those apologies, you know? All right. Should we get back on the script? Okay? No, they say no. This is more interesting. They don't want to go back on. This is much more interesting. We love you folks, okay? We love you. Van Jones. Van Jones. He's another beauty. Thank you very much, Van, for the wonderful acknowledgement. I appreciate it. To give every American child the best chance to reach the American dream, we're fighting for school choice. Very important. Sadly, Democrat lawmakers care more about catering to lobbyists and powerful teachers' unions than they do about improving our schools for our children. And Democrats care more about illegal immigrants than about their own African-American constituents. That's right. They want to give health care to people that just walked into the country, and for you, they don't care. The whole thing is crazy. These people have gone absolutely nuts. While we're fighting for the American way of life, the hard left and the radical left is working to trample the rule of law, erode individual liberty, and exert a far-reaching control over our lives. Left-wing censors have launched an all-out campaign against free speech. That is why they are trying to silence, deplatform, cancel, punish all of the proud conservative voters, all of the proud African-American voices that know what's happening and know how to become big, successful people, help other people. They want to silence you. But we know, the patriots in this room, will never be intimidated. I know that. I know that. So here with us today is Kieran Boland, president of the Texas State University. That's a big deal. Turning Point USA chapter, who has bravely defended the right to free speech. And Kieran, would you please come up and say a few words, please? Thank you. I thought so. Oh. I love her hair.
So last year on my college campus, they did try to ban Turning Point from our campus. So we fought strong and we prevailed. The piece of legislation was completely unconstitutional, and we are still fighting strong on our campus. So we're still there. I just want to thank Donald Trump for everything you have done for us. We are so incredibly honored to be here, and you've done so much for this country, and thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Turning Point for giving me the platform and the confidence to fight for our right for freedom of speech. It hasn't been easy, and it will not be easy, but being a part of Turning Point and be able to see all of you accomplish so many of your goals and to help fight for the freedom of speech, it's honestly amazing, and it gives me so much hope. Our generation is playing a vital role in keeping our First Amendment rights, and we're going to continue to keep up that fight. So all of you on your campuses or in high school, I know a lot of y'all in high school, continue to fight for your right for freedom of speech, because you know where you stand, and everyone else can know where you stand too. So just keep up that fight.
Thank you. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you very much, Kieran. I got to get the other cheek. Now I feel better. You've done a fantastic job. I appreciate it, too. In order to protect the rights of our students, I signed an executive order making clear that public colleges and universities shutting down free speech will risk losing all of the billions and billions of dollars that we give them. So we'll shut down their federal taxpayer dollars that go to them. And then they shut down speech. And they just choose whoever it is. They'll let somebody speak. They'll tell other people you can't speak. And then we're supposed to give them individually hundreds of millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way anymore. I've also tasked my administration to explore every possible solution to stop social media giants from restricting your rights to speak your mind. And Candace, you had a problem with it, I know, and other people have had a problem. Some people in this room have had a problem. Terrence, have you had a problem with it? Huh? Terrence has had a problem. It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, no, a lot of people have. But not the other side of the world. The other side doesn't have that problem. Very rarely do they have it. We must preserve the fundamental American rights that generations of Americans have sacrificed everything to secure. With us this afternoon is Ben Okereke. That's a great name. I love that name. When Ben was 14 years old, he legally immigrated to the United States after suffering many hardships in Cameroon, which I hear is a beautiful, beautiful place. Cameroon. Oh, wow. One person from Cameroon. To give back to our country, he joined the United States Army and honorably served for 4 years as a very talented field artillery specialist. A lot of talent, they say. Ben, we salute your noble service, and please say a few words. Ben? Ben, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and thank you, Charlie Kirk. First of all, Mr. President, we would like to thank you for everything that you've done for the African American community so far. We thank you for criminal justice reform. Yeah. We thank you for the lowest black unemployment rate in this country, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
And finally, most importantly, sir, thank you for saving America, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, sir, thank you for taking on the fake news media, sir. Finally, we want you to build the wall, sir. Frankly, because we don't oppose immigration, but we oppose illegal immigration. So we want you to come to this country legally if you're going to come to this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ben. And that's from the heart. That's from the heart. That's what it's all about. The young leaders in this room remind us that true power in our nation is not found in government or hallways or anywhere. It's found not in the media boardrooms. It really is where the strength is. It's in our people. It's in your hearts. It's in your courage, your spirit, your faith, and your pride. Together we will defend the benefits and the beliefs that you want and you have and you're entitled to, the traditions and God-given freedoms that make our country the greatest in the world, and even I think we can say right now the greatest in the history of the world, just like your unemployment numbers, greatest in history, that's the greatest in history also. You are my friends. I'm never going to forget you. You've been incredible. You've been incredible. Whether it's Jaron, the job you do, or Charlie, I appreciate it, or Terrence, or Candace, you're all special people, very, very special people. And you're doing something very important. I don't even know if you know, maybe you don't know. And you know, sometimes you're so into something and you just don't really feel how important it all is. What you are doing is so important for your community and for this country. We will renew the values that unite our people as one America. As one team, we will build up our nation. We will lift up our forgotten communities, and we will defeat any threat. We will beat any challenge. We will overcome every obstacle, and we will achieve a glorious future of American greatness beyond our wildest dreams. And that's what you're doing. To everyone here today, keep up the great work. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless America. Thank you.